So when we're going to take a show and we're going to bring it to Boston, we are not a nonprofit. So we're going to look at, is there enough of an audience that's going to buy enough tickets to make that show, worthwhile to bring it to town. But thankfully, musicals typically have a broader appeal, and that's what happens. Thankfully, you have incredible regional theaters in Boston, so that you can still see great theater and see those plays. Those theaters have underwriting from donors that help to support bringing that kind of
That's true, like the Huntington Theater and Speakeasy and so forth.
So they're not just looking to sell enough tickets to make money on, make enough money to do the show.
That's a good point. I often wondered about that, the dramatic side of it.
It's certainly something that we'd like to do. If we think that we can, if it's a play that is going to bring enough people in to see it, then it's absolutely something we want to be doing.
I know that it's not one of your shows, but Kathleen Turner is coming back into Boston in December with some kind of a dramatic show. I don't know too much about it, but the fact that she's a name,
absolutely,
that really draws, right? Be it a musical or a drama.
Yeah, and I think and that's, as I'm saying, is what's happening in New York for the plays. Typically, you're going to put a name in there, and then that helps sell the tickets.
But today, how many? I don't want to say female, but let me say, actors and actresses in dramatic roles are out there today that are big names, and I'm not talking Hollywood. I'm talking Broadway. True Broadway stars, people like Helen Hayes and Julie Harris and that such.
Well, you have like a Kristen Chenoweth and that but and then they cross over. This is the melding of these mediums where you have movies and Broadway are kind of merging together. People that are just specifically Broadway actors versus the movie stars are known to the theater community. And so there's a different degree of celebrity, in that sense, because the theater community and the people who are passionate about theater are going to know who are the great actors.
Right.
And as I said previously about just being an actor is a tough job, there's a lot of talent out there. And there's not a lot of rhyme or reason about how someone gets cast. So who actually is the name on top of that marquee is somewhat subjective. But there's just a tremendous amount of talent. So you can go very far down that line and still find someone who's going to amaze you on stage.
But the fact is, if you put a Hollywood name up there,
ticket sales.
It's going to draw more, right?
Right.
Yeah, that's too bad in a
But
sense.
it doesn't mean that you're going to see a better show.
Oh, no, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. But it's just that's the draw.
Yeah. Well, if there's a movie star that you have been watching on, or a television star that you've been watching on your little tube, to be able to go and see them perform live, that's the beauty of live entertainment. To be able to be in that room with that movie star and see them act is you don't get to go and sit and watch them record their show.
But some of the Hollywood stars that go on Broadway have been criticized for doing that. They're not really. They don't have stage presence.
It depends, I think sometimes it depends on where they came from, and those that came from the stage, go back because they miss it, and those are the people that, they know what they're doing, and those people that are used to having cuts and take 2 and take 3.
Right, it's different. It's a different thing altogether.
Yeah, but like Chris Rock was just on a show on Broadway, and people said that he did a great job.
Isn't that funny? I remember years ago Betty Davis went back on the stage. I guess she started in theater and then she went to Hollywood. But I don't even remember the name of the show. This was back in the 50s or early 60s. Yeah. But it was different for her. She, I guess she performed okay, but she wasn't sensational, as we put it.
That must have been difficult.
Yeah, I'm sure it was. Well, let's get back onto this. We talked about Les Mis. Following Les Mis, and that's going to be at the Opera House also. Yeah. Following that, you're bringing back Riverdance.
Yes, we are.
That's a fabulous show.
It's a great show, and they've introduced the world to Irish step dancing, and obviously Boston is a very Irish town. So
positively.
I think that everyone loves that show.
I can remember the first time it came in. I think it played at the Wang. And I tell you, I was just overblown. I had never seen anything like that before.
Yeah.
It was sensational.
It was amazing. I was working at Radio City Music Hall when
were you?
when it
Oh.
first came over,
Yeah.
and it was a sensation for sure.
Did you get your start in New York?
Yes.
Theater?
Yeah.
You want to tell me something about that?
I started at Radio City Music Hall, and then I was more in the commercial entertainment side. I was at
Yeah.
Madison Square Garden for a while as director of marketing there, and promoting everything from concerts to boxing to theatricals to everything.
Wow.
And then they really got into the theater business and,
Yeah.
produced Footloose on Broadway, and we produced The Scarlet Pimpernel on Broadway, and then took those shows on the road, and that's when I learned the touring business.
And from there, did you go to Trinity from there?
Yeah, I had a stint as an entrepreneur in the software business, in helping people understand their ticket sales and introducing the concepts of yield management, which are in the airline industry, into the theater business. And that was for a period of time, and then my wife and I wanted to have kids near the beach. That's what brought us up this way.
Wow. Well, we're glad you came. Rich. Okay, Riverdance. That's a fabulous show,
It is.
as we said. And then we're following that. That's in April. That's just in for
Just for
couple
a
of days.
weekend. Just for a weekend. Yeah, it's only 5 shows.
Okay. Is there a reason for that? For short run?
Well, it's been here a few times,
Yeah.
and I think that it's a matter of 5 shows in the Opera House is about 15,000 people.
Yeah,
so it's a big venue.
Okay. You're going to follow that with one of Disney's biggest, Beauty and the Beast.
Beauty and the Beast
Wow.
is actually, it's going on sale on November 20th. It's coming up, and it is a show that just amazes a whole new generation to the wonders of theater, and that is also, as I said about Les Mis, Beauty and the Beast tour is people are just going nuts over that show.
And not only the people, but the kids.
Yeah.
I mean, they love that stuff.
Yeah.
It's like a fairy tale.
Well, you're seeing, that movie that the kids watch
Yeah.
over and over again. They get to see that come alive on stage as an introduction to theater.
Disney has played a big part in Broadway when they restored the
New Amsterdam.
the New Amsterdam, on 42nd Street. Yeah.
Disney went into Broadway in a big way, and
Really, they did.
and they have they've taken their animated features and have paired up incredible theater
Yeah.
professionals, some of the most creative in the world, to bring these shows to life. And there's not a whole lot more like that opening scene of Lion King to make you just
tell me about it.
drop your jaw and wonder how
How
creative
when they came
someone
down
can
the
think about
aisle,
that.
wow,
Yeah.
absolutely fantastic. I've never seen anything like that in my life.
Exactly.
And I probably never will again.
Right.
Is there any chance that will come back in the future?
I'm sure Lion King will
Yeah.
be back. Yes.
I think one of the problems with shows like that is money. Mm-hmm. It's awfully expensive to put on a show like that, isn't it?
It is. I think the whole economy of everything's expensive. Well,
that's true.
And
Yeah.
the more expensive things get to produce, the more expensive the tickets end up getting,
Yeah.
and it gets difficult. But we're committed to making sure that everybody can see a show. We have $30 tickets that are
Yeah, I was just going to mention that
to
to you. That's something that no one else does, but Broadway and Boston does. They make it attractive for those people that cannot pay the high prices.
Sure. I mean, we want to, I think that everyone's got a price point that's going to work for them. And so we want to make sure that there are tickets available at every price point. And this year, the way that we've set it up in the Opera House, I mean, for $30, you can sit on the floor of the orchestra and see the show.
See, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
And you also cater to the hard of hearing.
Yep.
Which is another good
we
thing.
do ASL interpreted performances. We do open caption performances. We also have audio described performances.
Does that go on in New York? Do they do things like that?
Yeah, they do, and it really depends on the show. Some shows have invested in. There's some interesting technology, and when you have a show that's going to stay in a theater for a very long time,
Yeah.
you might be able to invest a little bit more than a show that comes in for 2 weeks and then goes on the road. But there are theaters that actually have kind of handheld open captioning devices.
Yeah.
So it's almost like someone's giving you an iPod, or,
Right, yeah,
like
yeah,
an-
you read off that.
and you're looking at it on, you're looking at it so that it isn't something that's set up on the stage, but it's more an individual basis. So, for example, when we do open captioning, it's for a specific performance. So people that want to take advantage of open captioning are going to buy tickets to that particular show. The flexibility of having that technology is you can come whenever it's convenient to you, and you'll be able to take advantage of that. So there are definitely theaters and shows that are invested in providing those services.
No, that's good. It helps everybody that way. Well, in June, I think I've seen this show 5 times, and I'm going to see it again and again and again. I'm talking about Mamma Mia.
Yeah, Mamma Mia is definitely a Boston favorite.
Oh my God, I have never seen a show with such anxiety and thrills and everything. The emotions in that show is so fantastic.
It's a fun show, and that show has more productions globally than any other show.
Is that right?
Now. On any given night, when 17,000 people are sitting in a theater watching Mamma Mia,
they're dancing in the aisles.
Yep. Yeah.
I will never forget that show. The first time it came to Boston, Dee Hoty played the lead role, and Ann Sheehan was nice enough to get me an interview with Dee Hoty, who I have seen several times since, and she's absolutely fabulous in that. Really.
Well, Mary Callanan is in the show this year.
My baby. Do you know what happened at the reception?
I don't.
You don't know about that? I don't know if Ann knows that either. When you were talking, and I was standing probably right in front of you, and I looked over at the side and I saw this woman. I said, "She looks like Mary Callanan," but it couldn't be. She's on the road with Mamma Mia. And as I thought that, you said George Hamilton was sick and could not make the show, could not make the reception tonight. But we have an actress here, and you said Mary Callanan. And Mary walked up to the podium. Well, you introduced her, she said a few words, and she left the podium, she went over on the other side, and she stood there. I said, I got to say hello to Mary. So I walked over, and as I was approaching her, I didn't say anything. She looked at me, she said, "Guy!" and she gave me a big hug.
That's great.
And I just I was just warm all over. Mary Callanan is just tremendous.
Yeah.
She is.
That'll be a fun show.
She is playing one of the gals in Mamma Mia, one of the friends of.
Playing Rosie.
Rosie, that's it.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, she's a great.
So that'll be fun, and we have that. That's just for a week in the Boston
Yeah, just a short time.
Yep.
Well, we're almost running out of time, but I want to talk about Billy Elliot that's coming in July, and it's going to be here until August 19th.
So yes, Billy Elliot is
looking
here.
forward to that.
It is a blockbuster. I mean, it is that feel good show that has music by Elton John, and it's a spectacular show.
Well, you've got a great season coming up, Rich. It's already started, and it's going to get better and better. Yeah. I wanted to comment on the Colonial Theater, but I know things are in the works on that, and hopefully we're going to see that back.
We will. Yeah, no, we will. That's going to be done. We will be back in the Colonial Theater
I'm thrilled to hear that.
For the 12-13 season, which what I'm most excited about with that is the Colonial Theater has had Broadway on a stage for 111 consecutive years, and I'm not sure if there's another theater in the country that can say that.
I don't think there is.
So we have every intention of continuing that streak.
Beautiful.
Right.
Rich, thank you so much for being on our program today.
Thank you.
Well, we'd like to close our show with some scenes from Les Mis, one of Broadway and Boston's productions this season. Thanks for watching Preview. My name is Guy Gianpapa. See you next time.